Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Harry Rice. You are listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything related to the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight was Game 6 of the first round series between the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. This series could end tonight. The first game where the Canadiens can sweep aside the Tampa Bay Lightning and move on to Buffalo. We'll find out if they do, obviously, or if the Lightning are able to force a Game 7 back at the Library Arena. We're going to get into the lines right away. I don't really have any preamble to go on about, so let's just get right into it because I just want to get this over with. The opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Anderson, Bolduc, Doc, Texier, Slafkovsky, Evans, Demidov, Newhook, Dino, Gallagher. On the blue line, Gooley, Hudson, Matheson, Carrier, and Struble, Jackeye. So still no Noah Dobson. Expect him in for Game 7, even if he has an injured wrist still. Or I think it was the hand that got injured, but still. Either way, expect him to be playing Game 7. I cannot see how the Canadiens win in Tampa without Noah Dobson. And obviously, it's Jakub Dobes. He gets the start net for the Habs, and Jacob Fowler continues to back him up. The opening lines for the Tampa Bay Lightning were Hago, Shirley, Kucherov, Gensel, Point Perry, Jurgensen's Gord Paul, and Gonçalves, James Bjorkstrand. So still being cowards, not giving us the G line as we want. Mosier, Radish, Dasto, Lilleberg, and McDonough Chernak are on the blue line. Andrei Vasilevskiy obviously starts for the Lightning in net, and Jonas Johansson continues to warm the bench. Before the game, Dasto is in for Max Crozier. I guess the NHL didn't suspend Crozier for the headshot, so the Lightning did it themselves. Very, very gracious. And Paul comes in for Connor Geekie. Morgan had his season end tonight. Connor, hopefully the same. In the first period, technically even, again, before the first period, before the game, what a fucking crowd in the Bell Center. This is for the first round. Also, they showed the outside. The entire street, basically, front to end, filled with people outside the Bell Center watching Game 6. Absolutely insane. You will not see that shit anywhere else in hockey land, only in Montreal, baby. They've had fan favorites with the torch. This time, Knuckles Nyland, Chris Nyland with the torch for Game 6. That is super awesome. The crowd is hot as ever. You gotta love Montreal playoff hockey. Easily, no contest, the best arena in sports. Not just hockey, in sports as a whole. And the Olays in full force before the anthems. Love to see it. They had a nice a cappella group during the anthems tonight. I thought that was actually pretty solid. However, don't bring them back. We'll get into why. You guys will see as the game goes on. Andy has a big hit on Chernak, and the Lightning ice the puck 12 seconds in. And again at 19 seconds in, minus the Andy hit on Chernak this time. The Habs press, there's a Caulfield shot saved. The Habs do pressure, but the Lightning get it out. Radish has a slapper, but a good early save by Dobes. Perry was up on the second line. This is when I had noticed that. The Habs try to rush. Vasi holds on the dump in, though. Dobes gives the puck away. Gord not able to wrap it home. Holy shit. Stay in your net, Dobes. Jesus. Kucherov has a shot held. Gord tries to run Dobes, but Carrier gets him away. Caulfield off a strip. He has a shot, but that hits the post. Lots of posts for both teams tonight. This game probably could have ended 4-3 in regulation with the amount of posts that were hit. Canadiens just needed one lucky bounce. That's all they needed to end the series tonight. Suzuki finds Caulfield on a 2-on-1. He finds Slafkovsky. Just can't get it off his stick, though. Damn it. Habs push again. Gallagher has a chance wide. The Lightning press. Matheson ends up breaking a stake he gets from Slafkovsky. Slav runs a man down from behind. You love to see it. Way to go. Jackeye then destroys Gord along the boards. Paul has a backhander, and that's wide. Gooley has a hard hit in the corner to the right of Jakub Dobes. He holds on the long shot. We had gone 7 minutes without a whistle. Game starting out very hot, very heavy, very hot and ready, if you will. Pizza. Did I mention that everybody's fat? People who realize what I'm referencing are going to be very happy, and the people who don't are going to be very confused, and I'd like to keep it that way. That being said, if anybody in the comments does ask, tell them what I'm referencing, please. And thank you. Slap behind Vasi's net gets one to Evans. The shot gets saved and held. Doc with a nice hit. Texier gets on the puck, but the shot as well is saved by Vasilevskiy. Gallagher, but some good speed. He avoids a check. A shot gets held, and we get our first scrum. And of course, Gallagher's at the center of it. Why wouldn't he be? Anderson then runs down Chernak in the Bolts end. Then Gensel in the Habs end. Anderson, one of the better Canadians tonight, and I don't mean that as a slight really to anybody aside from Jaden Struble, but Josh Anderson, with all the players considered, very, very solid player. Carrier does a good job shadowing Kucherov for a moment. Habs end up with a 2-on-1. Demidov with Hudson, and Demidov's shot gets saved. Lightning come back the other way. There's a shot saved by Dobes. Jakub with a hard hit, and Struble with one from behind. Love to see it. Lightning are getting away with it early in the series, and hell, Habs are getting away with it late in the series, so maybe they're more legal than we think. We get a bit of shoving at the benches. Kucherov goes after, I believe it was Texier. He's salty after Texier gets a bit physical because it's the playoffs. Kucherov, a little bitch. Can't wait to see his throat slashed in Game 7. Fingers crossed. Jack has a hard hit on Dusteau. He goes after Jack-Eye. Nothing comes of that, though. Dusteau does not want to drop him because he's a little bitch. Habs press. Lightning do get a look. Dobes with another save. And then another good save off of a Chernak rush shot. He squeezes his arm to make the save. And with 11 seconds left, the Canadiens get the first power play of the game. That is right. Gensel gets called for a high stick off a draw. Canadiens didn't get many power plays tonight. Neither team really did, all things considered. I believe it was 4-3 Lightning power play advantage. The Canadiens would get a power play that split up here. Spoiler, they don't score on the first 11 seconds. And then they would get a power play goal, or not power play goal, sorry. They got a power play late in the second, and it really didn't help. Firstly, getting a power play late at the end of the period doesn't help the Canadiens. It was mentioned in 2021, Johnny Superbman, very solid commentator. I believe he's doing the Canadian broadcast again today, or for this series, he's doing the commentaries. He mentioned specifically, especially at the time, kind of what made me realize that, like, you get a power play at the end of the period, it really doesn't help you. It's just, customary, give them a power play late, just breaks up momentum. That's really what it does, is it breaks up the momentum, and, it's just, refs not helping us out. I would love to see Lightning fans try and say that the refs tried to help us, to which I would say, shut up, peasant. So, I put we need one here, nothing happens, it's 11 seconds. Shots are 9-7 for the Lightning, and it's scoreless after the first. The Habs do have 1:49 left on the power play to start the second. The Lightning clear off of a misplay, slap in the slot, but the shot is high and wide, unfortunately. Second unit comes out about halfway through. Newhook with good defense on a Chernak shorthanded look. Doc comes in, but gets taken off the puck. Habs are 0 for 1 on the power play. The Lightning don't get called for a clear-as-day icing. There's a turnover that leads to a Kucherov chance, but that's over the net. The bias by the officials for Tampa Bay is, as the kids would say, off the fucking chain. Back the other way, though, the Habs do press. Suzuki on a rush drops to Caulfield, but the shot is gloved and held. Habs with a chance. Anderson finds Carrier on a 2-on-1. He goes back to Andy, who then also finds a trailing Caulfield, but the shot, that ends up wide. Lightning push, they cycle it. There's a chance saved. The 5-hole, the rebound gets put home through the 5-hole. Deneau says, not on my watch, flings it down. It ends up going for an icing, but a fantastic play by Phil Deneau. Since coming back to the Canadiens, he's seemed to find new life in his career, and especially defensively in these playoffs. Deneau has been fantastic with the Canadiens, and I'm so happy we gave up a worthless second-round pick for Phil Danault, because he has been very good for the Canadiens. Happy to have him on the team. Phenomenal defensive play there by Danault. Perry goes after Hudson while the Habs ice the puck 6 minutes in. And at 6:15, the Canadiens go to the penalty kill. Texier gets called for a high stick. That sucks. Evan's stick breaks up a Radish shot. There's a puck that comes out on a bobbling pass as the Lightning try to press. Habs moments later get a near 3-on-2, but the Carrier shot is high. Lightning cycle again. There's a clear by, I believe it's Suzuki in the slot, and Lightning go offside with 37 seconds left. There's a shot blocked. Habs clear late. Habs are 1-for-1 on the penalty kill tonight. Habs then get a 2-on-1. Doc tries to find Bolduc. There's a sliding block by Radish. Lightning press again. Habs are getting very lucky. None of their turnovers are biting them in the ass. Very, very lucky. Habs push again. There's a turnover that leads to a 2-on-1. Gensel tries to find point, but Hudson with a great stick to break up the pass. God damn. People who say Hudson is not good defensively, you're thinking of Evan Bouchard. Anderson goes offside on a near break. Lightning pressure again. The game is starting to get very stressful the longer it stays tied. For those of you who know the result, yes, I was checking my heart rate. Don't worry. Jacky and James end up jawing with each other after a stoppage. James won't drop the gloves with Arbor because he'll get his ass kicked the way Sabrin did earlier this year. Girgensons almost gets a chance right in front. There's a no-go. 2-on-1 happens for Doc, but the shot is saved. Lightning push back the other way, but nothing in the net. There's another missed icing on the Lightning. Pure bullshit. But back the other way, there's a cycle, and Jacky, 98.5 mile per hour slapper. If he could get some accuracy on that, holy shit, Jacky would have a very deadly shot for the Canadiens. Very, very much hoping that in the offseason, whenever the Canadiens are eliminated, whether it's the second round, third round, or fourth round, hopefully they have Jacky work on that a little bit. The power's there. Just got to work on that accuracy a little more. Lightning do eventually ice it with 3:51 left. Canadiens are getting tons of momentum at this stage. Danault has a near 2-on-1. There's a good crossover with Gallagher, who tries to go behind the net, but he draws a penalty with 3:06 left. Desto goes off for slashing. Habs are going to need a goal sooner rather than later. The Lightning do clear off a cycle. Habs push. Demidov at the line holds a clear-in. Good shit there. There's a puck battle at the boards that leads to a chance. Demidov in the right circle. A good save by Vasi. And the rebound, as Vasi is diving, gloves it down. Andrei Vasilevskiy with probably easily his best save of the game right there. And that's when you knew it was not going to be easy for the Canadiens to beat Vasilevskiy tonight. It was going to take a lot of luck. But then again, also going to take a lot of luck to beat Jakub Dobes tonight. Sorry, I'm trying to find my place in my notes. The second unit comes out late. I didn't mark it down, but the Canadiens are 0-for-2 on the power play tonight. Matheson's shot hits a man. He then tries to do it all. That, of course, leads to a turnover. Evans, at the last second, has a chance off of Doc. That gets saved by Vasilevskiy. So we go into the third period, still scoreless. The shots 17-16 for the Canadiens. In the third period, Anderson has a hard hit on Hagel in the corner. Lightning ice a puck at 1:30. It already felt like overtime. Going into the third, it felt like first goal wins. It felt like whoever could open this thing up first, they're going to get the win, which is usually how overtime works. Not the third period, typically. Regardless, Gallagher gets one right in front. Newhook has a chance saved. The Lightning try to get a puck off of a battle in the corner. Texier beats a man to it. He gets on a near break, but the shot off the outside of the post. God damn it. Suzuki gets knocked down behind Tampa's net. Slav tries to bury one, and Vasi covers. We get a small little bit of a shoving match right afterwards. Habs push. Hudson with some chances just being saved. Hudson had a very good game tonight. Of course, that defensive play I mentioned earlier. Offensively, he was trying to generate looks. And it just he was very good tonight. And I can only hope that with Dobson hopefully being back for Game 7, that leads to some very, very good defensive plays by Dobson, and it allows the responsibilities of the defensemen to kind of lower a little bit, be able to take the pressure off themselves. Again, fingers crossed that Dobson is able to play for Game 7. We shall see. Gooley bobbles a puck at the line. Gensel. Okay. Talking about the Lightning makes me very sleepy. I think you guys can understand why. Gensel gets on a break, but the shot, Dobes makes the save. All hazing aside, legitimately, probably the game of the playoffs tonight. One of the fucking best games of the playoffs, I'm sure. This Game 6. Absolutely incredible game. And then the Canadiens go to a penalty kill because Gooley gets called for a slash on Gensel during the shot. Lightning obviously want a power play, or a penalty shot. They're not going to get one. 5:11 into the third, and the Habs go to the penalty kill. Lightning cycle. Kucherov hits the post. Gensel hits the crossbar. The Habs finally clear moments later. They then clear all the way down. First clear was just to center. The Habs are lucky that a high stick goes uncalled. Josh Anderson trying to whack, or it might have been Matheson, I think it was Andy though, trying to whack at a bouncing puck, misses and gets point up high. Very, very lucky that goes uncalled. But then again, with how much has gone uncalled for the Lightning in the series, I think it's safe to say the Canadiens can get away with one. Regardless, the Lightning bench does bitch and moan about it. The Habs are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. Anderson can't get a puck. He beats an icing. There's a shot saved high. God damn, Andy was just waiting to break through in this game. And spoiler, not on the score, but just a spoiler for Anderson. It just doesn't come for him. Andy had a great game. He's had a great series aside from last game. He's had a fantastic series. Andy's looking like he wants one more goal and just... damn it. Speaking of Anderson, he gets another near break, but that shot is saved. Kucherov the other way, the shot is saved with the pad. Demidov on a rush, but a backhander is wide. Lightning press, and here we go. Chernak bumps Dobes. You don't do that. Struble goes after him. Struble goes after Paul. Anderson goes after Chernak. The game heated up for a moment. However, refs cool it right down. We go 4-on-4. That's right. Fuck giving the Canadiens a power play. We got to go 4-on-4 with 8:33 left in regulation, no less. The Lightning cycle. Hagel has a pass. There's a shot tipped by Dastow. The shot is in the crease. Dobes covers it up. Holy shit. There's a Kucherov shot that deflects just inches away from going in. Jesus. The Lightning push again. They cycle, but just nothing to the net. There's a good D coming out. Good defense coming out big time for the Montreal Canadiens. They are really trying their best to hold off the Lightning. Caulfield presses. Vasi ends up holding his shot with 3 minutes left. Demidov goes to the net. He gets a shot off. He's pushed in, and he gets called to for goalie interference. With 3:18 left in the game, in regulation, the NHL officials are going to give the Tampa Bay Lightning another power play. The officials tonight were John McIsaac, Francis Chiron, Andrew Smith, Jesse Marquardt. Just figured I'd tell you guys the officials' names. No reason at all. But regardless, the Canadiens go to a penalty kill off of a garbage penalty to the Canadiens. But you know what? Quite frankly, we should be used to it at this point. It's rather unfortunate. Kucherov gets 2 looks, but those are saved. It's all Lightning? Nope. It's all Dobes. 4 great saves for Dobes. There's one on Gensel in the slot. The rebound, Point has a shot. Dobes makes the save there as well. Jakub Dobes is the Canadiens MVP in this series. I know that I had criticized him a lot at points during the regular season. And I know there was, I think, 2 goals especially that I've really gone at him for. Well, not really gone at, but you just know, hey, he should save those. He has been the Canadiens MVP this playoffs. If the Canadiens are going on a run, it's because of Jakub Dobes. Dobes has that Yaroslav Halak feel to him. The only difference is after the season, Dobes' head isn't going to get too big, and he demands a trade if he's not the starter. Dobes, I feel like, is completely fine if he's the starter, backup, whatever he is, which very likely probably the starter going into next season anyways, but still, if we had a Carey Price type already, Jacob Fowler's not ready yet, but if we had a Carey Price type, Dobes would not be the type of guy to demand a trade if he's not the starter. He would be perfectly fine knowing he's still going to get games and could very well steal the starter's job. But regardless, Jakub Dobes, very, very solid. And speaking of which, the Canadiens end up 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Again, all Jakub Dobes on the kill. And here we go. Hagel with a whack at Dobes. Gulli doesn't like it. Dobes gives him a little tap. Anderson goes at Chernak. And the Habs don't get a power play. That's right. So, I think it was Kucherov, if I remember correctly. Or no, I'm pretty sure it was Gensel. Got a penalty for slashing at Dobes. Hagel doesn't. Playoff officiating. The unfortunate thing, these are legitimately the best in the world. These are actually the best officials in professional sports. That is so goddamn sad. The Habs do push in the final minute. Anderson tries to create something. Gulli at the last second gets a shot, but it doesn't get on net. Shots are 28-26 for the Lightning. We are tied 0-0 into overtime. In overtime, Demidov, after a chance, has a shot that gets saved early. Deneau, again, has a shot off of a rush, but that's held. There's a play by Suzuki to block off a man, but the Lightning do get it out. There's a puck deflected out at 3 minutes. The Lightning are starting to pressure afterwards. Big zone time. The nerves were really hitting the Canadiens at this stage, I felt. And, it's just not looking good. It's not 9-1 when we got outshot 9-1 in Game 2 bad. But it's not favorable. It's not god-awful, but it's not favorable right now. I think you guys get what I mean. Radis has a shot at the flex. Hagel somehow sends it wide. Holy shit. Dobes tried to spread out all he could. Regardless, he doesn't need to again because Hagel sends it wide. Canadiens get very lucky there. And then, holy shit, the Canadiens get a power play. Yeah, that's right. In overtime, the Canadiens get a power play at 5.5 minutes in. Kucherov is called for a clear as day trip on Carrier. Almost a slew foot. What a scumbag. Habs needed to end the game here. Silence the Tampa crowd that we're watching at home, which actually I don't even know if they are because nobody wants to go to the library arena. Nobody likes going to a library. Regardless, the Slav has a one-timer, just fires it wide. Lightning get a clear. Habs with some pressure, but just can't get a shot. Hudson has a slapper. That gets saved. Goncalves trips up Hudson. There's no call. The Lightning end up clearing. Habs end up 0 for 3 on the power play. Kucherov has a burst off of a rare Suzuki turnover. Dobes makes the save. And about a minute later, Gage Goncalves pokes a puck off of Dobes' pads and puts it home. No goalie interference. And game over. We're going to 7. Goncalves scores 9:03 into overtime. He scores from James and Hagel. Shots in this one are 33-31. 33-30 for the Lightning. This one ends 1-0 in overtime. The Habs unfortunately get shut out for the first time in a damn long time. Very, very long time since we've been shut out. And, the Canadiens, unfortunately, are going back to the library arena for Game 7. But you know what? If there's one thing that almost rivals winning a game in the Bell Center to clinch a series, it's that sweet, sweet silence of a library arena. You gotta love it. We will be back, of course, for Game 7. To recap, regardless if the Canadiens win or lose, obviously hoping they win, firstly, Canadiens fan. Duh. Secondly, so I can keep making this content for you wonderful people. The 8 of you who listen to the show, thank you very much if you're still listening. Firstly, listening all season and listening 25 minutes in. But regardless, just you gotta hope that the Canadiens can come out in Game 7 and do something. The Canadiens did play a very good Game 6 for the most part. It's just a few bad turnovers led to Lightning chances. Lightning had very good opportunities. Dobes and Vasilevskiy were both fantastic. They were absolutely on par with each other throughout 99% of the game. Lightning get a very, very lucky bounce going their way, and that's how they end it. So, if you're the Canadiens, you just gotta have hope. Really, you just gotta have hope, and it's just a matter of go out in Game 7, do what you did in this game, except score a couple goals before regulation, preferably 6 or 7, and blow the Lightning out of the water. That's all you can really hope to do. So, yeah, that's gonna about do it, and hope that Dobson can play as well. I hope to fucking God Strubal's out, Dobson's in, because we desperately need Dobson back. Hudson's been fantastic. Matheson's been very iffy. Carey, I think, has actually been pretty solid. Jackie's been good, and Gooley's been very good. You just need Dobson to have more minutes than Mike Matheson, which would absolutely happen if he's in the lineup for Game 7. You would hope, at least. So, yeah, again, that does it for this game. We're going to get into the stats, even though there's nothing aside from the goalie to actually update, but still, you never know. We're going to get through these quickly and then take our time with Dobes, because obviously he is actually updated. Lane Hudson leads the Canadiens with 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Nick Suzuki has 5 assists. Alexander Texte, 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. Cole Caulfield and Zach Bolduc each with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Yaroslav with 3 goals. Kirby Dach with 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. Josh Anderson, 2 goals. Caden Gooley with an assist. 2 assists, Brendan Gallagher with a goal. Alex Carrier, Mike Matheson, Ivan Demidov, Phil Deneau, Jake Evans, Arbor Jacki, and Alexon Hook each with an assist. Jakub Dobes is the only Canadian... Yaroslav also has a fight. Jakub Dobes is the only Canadiens goalie to play in the playoffs. He has a 3-1-2 record, a 2.19 goals against average, and a .916 save percentage, leading the way in net for the Canadiens. So yeah, again, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you're on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you might be listening to the podcast on. And again, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Also, please don't forget to share the podcast with anybody who you think might enjoy it, such as a fellow Montreal Canadiens fan, a hockey fan who's maybe looking for a Canadiens podcast, or someone who you think just might enjoy listening to some fat kid from Quebec talk about the Montreal Canadiens for half an hour after every game. So yeah. Again, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice, and always remember, no matter how good we were last year, how pretty good we're like this year, or how damn good we are going to be in the future, go Habs go, Allez Montreal, and say with me everybody, c'est la boue!